Hi everyone, Sarah from Multifarious Nature, the owner and creator. And that was Rory in the background, my dog. Apparently she wanted a little part in the video. Thank you for joining me, and if you're joining me today, Sunday, I hope you're having a wonderful weekend. And I hope it's sunny by you. It was gonna look like it was gonna rain, and this is like my second or third try actually trying to record because I've been trying to mess with the light because I want you to be able to see everything in the best light possible color-wise, because I do have some new items that are going up in the shop. So if you are new and you like what I talk about and love to hear more, please subscribe, and you can hit the little bell for notifications, so when I do post, you'll get a little notification on your phone. So let's dive right in, shall we? All right, so no finished objects this week. Yeah, I'm going to jump right into works in progress because no finished objects. But I do have some works in progress, and I tell you, I'm sure any of you that are knitting and crocheters understand the struggle is real, because I totally screwed up. I didn't put a lifeline in. I don't put lifelines in that often. I do for garments because I've made like a short sleeve little sweater, and I am so grateful that I put in lifelines because I had to rip back. I did not on that shawl that I showed you last week. So here's where I am at the moment, and of course I'm mid-row, of course. So these are German short rows, so actually I'm at the end of a row, but it looks like it's in the middle of a row. It probably looks very similar in size as to last weekend, because I am like 4 rows past where I was last weekend, because I had to rip back this entire thing and start over, which really, grand scheme of things, I didn't have that much done, but still, it's quite humbling, you know? You just, when you think you've got it, you have to rip back and start over again. And I think my husband always knows now when I go, oh no, it's like, he just goes, did you mess up? And I'm gonna start over again. So this is all I've got done so far. And again, this is the Deandra shawl in my Oceans Deep colorway, Multifarious Nature colorway. And I am just loving the way it's turning out, though, even though I'm not too much further than I was last week. You know, just seeing this interesting, it looks like water. Like, doesn't it look like waves? Does it look like waves to you? It does to me. I'm loving it. I think it's so pretty. I can't wait to get to the next color that I'm going to be adding to that, the green as well. But I'm loving the Oceans Deep on here. I think it's really fascinating because, you know, you see it in the skein and you see it in the ball and it looks beautiful. You know, you really like the way it looks. But then when you knit it up, it just takes on a whole new life by creating another piece of artwork out of it. So I'm loving knitting right now, if you can't tell. I'm just loving it. Absolutely loving it. And then, so didn't make it too much further on the Deandra. I'm probably about 4 more rows past where I was last week. So very slow progress on that one. And always slow progress on the sweater that I'm working on, which is a Pearl Soho pattern. It's the lightweight raglan pullover. And I apologize when I look away. I'm reading my notes so I can kind of keep track of what I'm up to here. But so I did make progress. I mean, I had the sleeves done already, and this is the body. So it's pretty much mid-row, because there's my counter here. So my needles are here. I'm about mid-row in this. Yes, I am mid-row, but that's good because then you can see the progress. So got a couple more inches. I think I'm about, I'd say about 2 inches from where I need to then join the sleeves. So that's exciting. But it said 14.5 inches is the length where I'm supposed to attach the sleeves. And I'm debating actually making that longer because I don't like really sweaters that just hit at my hip, and I don't like cropped sweaters too much unless I'm wearing it like over a dress or something. So I think I might make it longer because I just like longer sweaters. I like being really cozy if I'm wearing a sweater. So, and that's the Expression Fiber Arts yarn that I've been working with. Love her yarn. It is beautiful. The colors. The one thing about Expression Fiber Arts, like many dyers, they dye small batches of colors. So I do, apologize. I did post the colorways that I used in that sweater, and unfortunately those colorways currently are no longer available. Shandy does sometimes re-dye certain colorways. So if you follow her like on YouTube, you'll be able to see if those colorways do come back. But at the moment, they're not in the shop currently to buy. All right, so those are my works in progress that I'm working on. I've got that Deandra shawl, which I'm loving. I can't wait to see how it's gonna turn out. It is the most fascinating shawl, and you can see the pictures if you go to the Ravelry. But I mean, I'll show you. This is probably an awful picture because it's the printout. I don't know about you, but I love printing out the patterns because I make notes on it. I cross off as I'm going, just to keep track of where I'm at and everything, especially if I'm not counting rows. That is one way to keep track. But this is what it looks like. Again, it's so much better if you go on the website, but you can kind of see, it just reminds me of water. I just love it. It's freeform, so absolutely loving that. It's just so much fun to knit. All right, so on to shop updates for Multifarious Nature. Bunch of dyeing. Okay, so I owe you guys dyed yarn. I have been going through dyeing withdrawals. It's frustrating. I just haven't been able to dye. Personal reasons, but I am now able to. So I am so excited. And yesterday I dyed a whole bunch of yarn. I pretty much spent all day dyeing yarn yesterday until dinner time, pretty much all day. And I got a bunch done, and I'm so excited to share with you. So the first yarn that I got dyed up, it is an alpaca blend. So it's superwash alpaca. It's like super fine alpaca. And it's a 20-60-20 blend. So 20% super fine alpaca, 20% superwash merino, or 60%, I apologize, 60% superwash merino, and then 20% nylon. Very nice blend, super soft, and I'm super excited because I actually have a sweater's quantity of this yarn. So if you love it and you want it now, I can actually give you enough where you can make a sweater out of it. So this is the colorway Balsam Fur. I told you I was gonna make it, and I finally did. So I do have a sweater's quantity of this. So it's green and like a navy in there. And I do have a sweater's quantity of this. There's 437 yards in 100 grams. And this is a fingering weight. It's showing up slightly more blue than the green that's in here, but just slightly, just ever so slightly more blue. So I do a sweater's quantity, and that is Balsam Fur. And the next one is a Blueface Lancaster, 55% superwash Blueface Lancaster, and 45% silk. This is very, very soft. This is the spiced apple cider colorway. And it looks more orange here. That's so funny. In the photos, it's probably going to look a little bit more red. It is a reddish orange color. And there's brown in there. And the yellow. And I have 2 skeins of this one. So this is 438 yards, 100 grams. And that again is that spiced apple cider. And the next one is a 50-50 blend. It's superwash merino and silk. And this is 437 yards, again for the 100 grams. And that's Stormy Skies. It's a gray. You can see a little bit of the brown in there. And ever so slightly, you can see there's a light blue that runs through it. And I have 2 skeins of that in the shop at the moment, but I will be dyeing more. So that's Stormy Skies. This other one's fun. So this is a 100% Peruvian wool. So this is that a little bit more of a rustic, and it's 20 grams and it's 91 yards. These are considered mini skeins. And I have a bunch of these in the shop currently, and the colorway is Secret Garden. You can see the greens in there, browns, purple, red, navy blue. It's just a gorgeous multicolored skein. And each skein is slightly unique, and I did dye these in batches, but they just all kind of pick up the color a little bit here and there. So these are really fun additions to something. If you're making a shawl that's multicolored, or even a sweater, and you have a color work area and you want something unique that'll change as you're going throughout the pattern, doing something like this would be really neat. So that's Secret Garden. And you can see these are 3 skeins of that, and I do have more than this, but this is just to show you an example of how they are varied and they do look different. So those are now up in the shop. And then I have some more new tools for you knitters. This is not for crochet, but this is for knitting. So these are analog row counters. So if you look at that, and of course it's backwards. That's hilarious. Okay, so the 1 is at this end, but it goes 1 through 0. I mean, even if I flip this here, is this gonna read correctly? Yeah. So 1 through 0, that's actually 1 through 10, right? So this is the end. And so you slip this on your needle, and you can basically use this as a stitch marker at the beginning of your row. And as you knit, slip it to the next needle. I can actually kind of show you for example here, but so let's pretend for a second that I'm knitting this row. And I've got this on here, little mini demo. Okay, so it would hang down the front of your work as you're going. So you're knitting along. This is not going to be a good example because it's on the side. Here you go. So you're knitting along, and now you need to go to the next row, right? You've got to your marker, and you're going to get to your next row. And it should be on this side. There we go. All right. So now I need to go to the next row. I'm just going to slip my needle into the next loop. And that is now row number 2. And then you'll knit. And then you go to your next row, row number 3, and knit. Okay? Kind of get the idea? So as you're going, after you get to 0, which is 10, 10's place, right? That's where this little guy comes in. So these row counters come with little, you can use this as a progress keeper too, by the way. So I guess this is multiple tools. There's a progress keeper with it too. But as you're going down and you go through 10, so you don't even need this yet, but once you get to your 10th row and now you're going to your 11th row, you're going to put your little progress keeper clip into your 1. So that's your tens place, if you want to call it that. So that's now 11. And then as you go, so when you get to 2, it's actually 12. 3 is 13, if you get the picture. And then when you move, after you get all the way to the end, then you're going to be at 20. And so this would be 21, so on and so forth. So it's pretty cool. It kind of reminds me of like an abacus growing up, like I use that for counting. So this is one of the, I have 2 of these. These are all going to be semi one-of-a-kind type items because I just am using upcycled materials. So I have 2 of this one that has this cute little sunburst. It's kind of fun. Almost looks like a sunburst piece of candy. It's yellow, and then the little progress keeper, or the a row counter edition here, is a little white flower with yellow center. So I have 2 of those. And then I'm going to have 2 of these as well. So this is the same thing. You've got your 1 through 10. And these are little wooden beads. It's a little red wooden bead at the end. And they just have little metal numbers going down. I don't know if you saw that. And then this is again another progress keeper of sorts. You can either use it for a progress keeper, little wooden beads here, or you can use it obviously as a part of the tool for keeping track of your count on which place you're at. And you don't put your counter in the ring that you put your needle in, you put it in the ring that the number is actually attached to. So those are the analog row counters that are going into the shop. So I'm excited about that. Lots of new things, lots of new yarn being added to the shop. I'm curious. I'm going to ask you guys a question, a poll question here. I am just loving playing with color and making new colors. That's something that I love to do. And I was just curious if there are certain types of colors that you're interested in. If there's something that you just haven't found yet, or you're curious about and you would just love to see that in a skein of yarn that you could make something out of, please let me know below in the comments, because I mean I want to make things that you love too, and I will make it in a way that I love it, of course, because that's what inspires me, is mixing these colors. I truly enjoy all of these colors. I would knit with all of these colors and use them, so that I know other people that have similar color interests are gonna enjoy them as well. But please let me know if there's something that you're interested in seeing. I will do it in my interpretation of whatever you suggest, and see how it turns out. And if you like it, you can purchase it or tell someone else about it. Love that. But yeah, so let me know if there's any colorways that you're interested in, or even like a name for a colorway that you would love, and I can try to take something of that and make something based off of that, just inspiration. So just curious what you guys think. So if you throw something out there and see where it goes. Yeah, hope you guys are doing well. Hope everybody's staying healthy and happy, and hopefully you're all creating. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.